The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
For any boat to succeed in the marketplace, it has to have versatility, and among the most versatile in the Boston Whaler lineup are the Dauntless Series. Today, we're going to take a close-up look at the 210 Dauntless. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll start with a look at the family features, and that begins with this forward-facing seat just ahead of the console. Plus, we've got plenty of bow seating, and look at how this makes a beautiful sun pad. Every family boat needs a head compartment, and here in the console, there's a standard porta potty, and there's 4 feet 6 inches of headroom inside. And I'm happy to see that the door is held open with a magnetic catch. At the stern, there's a triple-wide bench seat held open with 2 gas assist struts. Underneath is storage that can be opened with one hand, either singly or both at once. The helm seat's reversible, so now we can face aft and watch the kids swimming off the stern. Now, some features for the transom that round out the family features. You can get an optional ski tow pylon or an all-activity tower that gives you an elevated tow point and ski and wakeboard racks. Underneath the helm seat, there's a 54-quart pull-out carry-on cooler. At the stern, there's a 3-step stainless steel reboarding ladder, and notice that it's offset at an angle away from the outboard for additional safety. While we're on the subject of safety, take a look at this. 24-inch high bow rails. Cockpit depth comes up 21 inches. To either side of the cockpit, there are 2-inch deck drains. That also makes a great feature for washdowns, and this, combined with the unsinkable reputation of Boston Whalers, makes a safe boat for everyone. The 2 pieces of the hull are injected with closed-cell foam. You can not only hear it, you can feel it, and that gives the boat its unsinkable characteristic. Let's talk about the quality components and construction for a moment. Take a look. Stainless steel welded rails. Notice the cleats. They're not just dropped on top of the cap rails. They're offset at an angle into molded recesses. They're also mounted and backed with whaleboard, which is a composite material, has 3 times the strength of the aluminum backing plates that we typically see. Notice how the S-shaped support for the T-top blends in perfectly with the sides of the molded console. Now let's move on to the fishing features. At the bow, an elevated casting deck. There are 2 insulated self-draining compartments up forward that can be used as fish lockers. Just ahead of the console, 15-gallon aerated live well. Interior is blue, all the edges are rounded. To either side of the forward console seat, there are 3 vertical mounted rod holders, and notice when the rods go through the bimini top, there are flaps that can be opened up. At the stern, we have another elevated casting deck, and this time we also have 4 rod holders going across the transom. Combine that with 4 going across the back of the T-top and the 6 on the forward end of the console. That makes 14 total on this boat. Of course, we can also keep our fish inside the 54-quart carry-on cooler, but this entire helm seat can be optioned out for a 25-gallon live well. Taking a look at the helm, beautiful layout, vinyl top, off color to reduce glare. There's plenty of open real estate for electronics. Rocker switches are all grouped, plus we have 2 SmartCraft gauges. Steering wheel is mounted to a tilt base, and I'm happy with the ergonomics of the engine control. I'm happy that we have a molded footrest, plus the seat is adjustable so we can drive comfortably from any position. Now let's get her underway and see how she performs.
The Boston Whaler 210 Dauntless has a length overall of 20 feet 6 inches, a beam of 8 feet 6 inches, and a draft of 14 inches. With an empty weight of 2,600 pounds, 60% fuel, test power, and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of just over 3,800 pounds. With the 200 horsepower Merc L4 turning at 6230 RPM, we reached our top speed of 46.2 miles per hour. At that speed, we were burning 19.9 gallons per hour for a range of 157 miles. Best economy was found to be at 4,000 RPM and 26.7 miles per hour. That reduced the fuel burn to 6 gallons per hour and opened up the range to 303 miles while still keeping a 10% reserve of fuel in the bank. We reached planing speed in 3.3 seconds, 20 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, and 30 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds. When accelerating, the bow comes up only minimally and there's no wandering as she does so. She'll roll a comfortable 10 degrees into the turns and shows no tendency towards any adverse characteristics while established in the turns. She bleeds off very little speed, and she seemed to be as comfortable with the cranking and banking as she was in the straight and level. We couldn't even get the prop to ventilate. That solid feel we had when banging on the sides of the cockpit now manifests itself with the handling. Crossing wake showed a firm trend towards stability with no pounding whatsoever. She catches little air and then has a smooth re-entry, as if she's saying, "Is that all you got?" This is simply among the best handling boats we've tested, and it was one of those tests that we didn't want to end. If there were one thing we'd add to this boat, it would probably be removable chains to each side between the 2 sections of the side rails. Other than that, she's a great boat with a seamless transition between fishing and family fun.
So that's my look at the 210 Dauntless from Boston Whaler. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water. Oh,